under these sands, there was life. Not just any life, but it was home to some of the most mysterious sea monsters. Fossils found here include those of an ever-hungry giant whale with an eel-like body known as Basilosaurus, or if you like the lizard king Dorudons, the largest carnivorous dinosaur known as the Spinosaurus, and the largest ocean-dwelling crocodile, the Mashemosaurus rex, or the M-Rex for short. And yes, the legendary Megalodon shark is also part of the archaeological fossils found within the Whale Valley of this very desert. The Megalodon sharks were one-of-a-kind sharks that loved to stay in the shallow waters close to the shore. Capable of growing to lengths of 60 feet and weighing as much as 75 tons, the Megalodon was one quite frightening fish. This massive weight is equivalent to as many as 30 large great white sharks. It still holds the record as the largest fish to ever exist. For such a size, the Megalodon had quite the appetite, eating 2,500 pounds of food daily. If you can't wrap your head around that, no worries. This is equivalent to 3,330 cans of tuna. Luckily for a long time, these waters were not short of food, as these super-sized sharks were able to satisfy their huge appetites by preying on larger mammals and fish. Its mouth could open as wide as 34 meters, meaning that it could swallow 2 adults, standing shoulder to shoulder at once. Its bite force was 3 times that of the T-Rex. To further explain this, the Megalodon shark could crush a car within a split second. With such great bites and their huge sizes, the Megalodon quickly became apex predators. Their 6-feet-long newborns were, however, not as lucky, as they often fell prey to larger sharks, especially the great hammerhead sharks, which roam within the same ranges as the Megalodon. Despite being such tough predators, more than 2.5 million years ago, the Megalodon sharks became extinct. While it is the nature of animals to find new locations when they've run out of food or their environment is no longer conducive, it wasn't the case with the Megalodon sharks. According to paleontologists, when the climate changed, the larger marine animals that the Megalodon sharks preyed on moved to the cooler waters. The Megalodon, however, stayed behind and were unable to satisfy their large appetites, hence starved to death. Most of what we now know about them is actually from their teeth. They had the teeth the size of a TV remote, which they used to tear through the skins of their prey. It is no wonder they got their Greek name, which literally translates to the giant tooth. These teeth were replaced as many as 40,000 times in their lifetime, explaining why they are found across the sandy archaeological sites of the Sahara Desert. But wait a minute, Megalodon sharks are marine animals, right? And isn't this desert one of the driest parts of the planet? So how could this water-dependent creature exist in this part of the world? Well, it's always been speculated that this barren land didn't exist a few million years ago. Rather, it was a booming place full of life with all flora and fauna. What is now a desiccated hot landscape with temperatures as high as 56 degrees Celsius, rippling sands, and hidden oases was once alive with wildlife, rivers, lakes, and grasslands. True to that, research has revealed that the changes in climate over thousands of years have led to the drying of its rivers and shifted the borders of the sand. Recently, scientists discovered that the 12 largest water drainage basin on the planet once flowed within the now arid land. They discovered an undersea canyon in Mauritania with its river sediments turning up across the desert. This lost river is believed to have dried up just 5,000 years ago. It was called the Tamanrasset River, and it drained its water into this basin. Additionally, in the Wadi Tushka region in Egypt, scientists discovered a mega lake that was flooded by River Nile. At its highest, this prehistoric megalake covered 42,000 square miles and reached heights of 810 feet above sea level. This megalake was enough to provide for the Paleolithic man and support other forms of life. The formation of this prehistoric lake dates back as recently as 250,000 years ago. In ancient times, armies of over 500 men were known to march off across the desert together with their war chariots, never to be seen again. These sands over eons have swallowed not only rivers and lakes, but also people, animals, and cities. Even today, those who get lost in this massive land of nothingness are likely to never be seen again. In Libya, while searching for oil and gas deposits, oil industries mapped out walls of ancient lost fortresses of the Garamantes people of Libya. This data, combined with satellite images in 2010, was able to identify more than 100 fortresses that were built between the 2nd century BC and 7th century AD. During this period, the Garamantes flourished, building underground water channels to farm their land and feed their livestock. Unfortunately, over time, the water sources dried as the desert sands took over, covering what had remained. Elsewhere in Gobero River, archaeologists found the largest graveyard in this sandy desert. More than 200 human remains were discovered, mixed with crocodiles, fish, and other animal skeletons. Arrowheads, bone jewelry, and fishing harpoons were also discovered, suggesting that the area was once a lush and green environment. The unsettling part of the discovery was how the burials appeared unusual. One skeleton was found resting on the remains of a turtle shell, while another was found with a skull buried in a pot. It is believed that the Tenerian and Kifian tribes were the inhabitants of this region, and what happened to them is yet another mystery that this sandy desert is holding. It is not just fortresses, human remains, and rivers that are hidden beneath the sands. In the Wadi al-Hitan region in Egypt, this desert has itself dubbed the Whale Valley. Here, the existence of the lost Tethys Ocean is vastly evident, as whale fossils have been discovered in plenty. Situated between the old Gondwana and Laurasia continent was the Tethys Ocean. It allowed the Atlantic and Indian Oceans to converge near the equator. In Greek mythology, the Tethys Ocean was home to mysterious sea creatures that guarded Tethys, the goddess of fresh water that nourishes life. True to this, the fossils found in Whale Valley is as long as 50 feet and give detailed insights into how whales adapted from being land dwellers, evolving into the sea giants they are today. This is because one of the fossils found had legs suggesting that whales were once terrestrial mammals that at one time walked the earth before going into the sea and evolving, gradually losing their legs. This theory is supported by the presence of vestigial hind legs bones in modern-day whales. When the ancient whales died, their bodies descended to the seafloor where they were covered with sediment. However, as the Earth's crust rose and water dried, the seabed turned to land. It is on this land that the largest desert sits today. There are a few places on the planet that seem practically alien, places that scientists have a hard time explaining the why and how certain phenomena manifest, and it's safe to say that this dry desert is one of them. It's going to take a while to completely penetrate the shifting Sahara sands and uncover some of the mysteries hidden in this vast pile of sand.